Hey there, welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the stories shaping our world. Today, we're exploring a topic that's been at the heart of American politics, news headlines, and countless debates for decades, the U.S. Mexico border. But here's something you might not have heard. Illegal border crossings are at their lowest point since the 1970s. That's right, for the first time in over half a century, the number of people apprehended trying to cross the border illegally has dropped to levels not seen since bell-bottom jeans and disco ruled the day. It's a statistic that's surprising experts, policymakers, and everyday Americans alike. But what does it really mean? And how did we get here? Let's break it down together. According to the latest data released by the U.S. Border Patrol, there were just 238,000 apprehensions in fiscal year 2025. To put that in perspective, that's the lowest number recorded since 1970, over 50 years ago. Back in the late 1970s and early 1980s, annual apprehensions often soared into the millions, with some years seeing more than 1.5 million people detained at the border. The numbers fluctuated over the decades, spiking during periods of economic growth in the United States and tightening during recessions or when new enforcement measures were introduced. But never in recent memory have we seen such a dramatic drop. This isn't just a blip on the radar, it's a historic shift that's raising eyebrows and prompting a lot of questions. So, what's behind this unprecedented change? What's causing this historical shift in migration patterns and border security? To answer that, we need to look at a combination of factors, some obvious, some less so. Let's start with the basics: border enforcement. Over the past 2 decades, the United States has invested billions of dollars in border security. This includes hiring more Border Patrol agents, building and reinforcing hundreds of miles of fencing and barriers, and, perhaps most significantly, deploying advanced surveillance technology. Today, the border is monitored by a sophisticated network of drones, infrared cameras, motion sensors, and even artificial intelligence systems that can detect unusual activity in real time. These tools have made it much harder for people to cross undetected, and they've given Border Patrol agents the ability to respond quickly to any breaches. In fact, some experts argue that the U.S. Mexico border is now one of the most technologically advanced borders in the world. But technology is only part of the story. Another major factor is the changing patterns of migration itself. In the past, most people crossing the border illegally were single adults from Mexico, often looking for work in the United States. But over the years, that's changed. Today, a growing number of migrants come from Central American countries like Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. Many are families with children, fleeing violence, poverty, and political instability in their home countries. These migrants are more likely to seek asylum or turn themselves in to authorities, rather than trying to evade capture. At the same time, economic conditions in Mexico have improved and birth rates have declined, leading to fewer people attempting the journey north. The COVID-19 pandemic also played a role, disrupting travel and making the journey even more dangerous and uncertain. All of these factors have combined to create a new reality at the border, one where fewer people are attempting illegal crossings and more are seeking legal ways to enter the country. Of course, not everyone sees this as a simple success story. The drop in illegal crossings has sparked intense debate across the political spectrum. Some argue that stricter enforcement and tougher policies are finally paying off, making the border more secure and reducing the strain on U.S. resources. Others, however, warn that these measures come at a cost, both human and moral. Critics point to reports of family separations, overcrowded detention centers, and the dangers faced by migrants who are forced to take more perilous routes to avoid detection. The debate over border policy is as heated as ever, with passionate voices on all sides. For supporters of stricter border enforcement, these numbers are a clear win for national security. They argue that a secure border is essential for protecting the country from illegal drugs, human trafficking, and potential threats. They point to the investments in technology and manpower as proof that the government is taking its responsibility seriously. And for many communities along the border, the reduction in illegal crossings has brought a sense of relief and stability. Local law enforcement agencies report fewer incidents of crime related to smuggling, and some border towns are seeing a resurgence in tourism and business as safety concerns diminish. But for others, the story is far more complicated. Human rights advocates and immigration activists warn that tougher enforcement doesn't stop migration, it just makes it more dangerous. As traditional crossing points become harder to access, migrants are pushed into remote and hazardous areas where they face extreme heat, dehydration, and the risk of exploitation by criminal organizations. Tragically, the number of deaths along the border has remained stubbornly high, even as overall crossings have declined. Humanitarian groups continue to call for more compassionate policies that address the root causes of migration and provide safe, legal pathways for those in need. Behind every statistic, there's a human story. While the headlines focus on numbers and policies, it's important to remember the individuals and families whose lives are shaped by these decisions. In recent years, more migrants are choosing to pursue legal pathways to enter the United States, whether through asylum applications, work visas, or family reunification programs. The government has expanded some of these programs in an effort to provide alternatives to dangerous, unauthorized crossings. For many, the journey is still long and uncertain, but the hope of a better life continues to drive people to seek new opportunities. These stories remind us that immigration is about more than just borders. It's about dreams, determination, and the search for safety and dignity. So, what does the future hold for the U.S. Mexico border? Will this trend of declining illegal crossings continue? Or are we on the verge of another shift? The truth is, no one knows for sure. Migration is influenced by a complex web of factors: economic conditions, political changes, climate events, and more. As the world continues to change, so too will the challenges and opportunities at the border. Policymakers, law enforcement, and communities on both sides will need to stay vigilant, adaptable, and compassionate as they navigate the road ahead. One thing is certain, the story of the U.S. Mexico border is far from over. Now, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the historic drop in illegal border crossings? Do you see it as a sign of progress, or are there deeper issues we need to address? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update on the stories that matter most. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.